Hello everyone, Neofizz here, and welcome back to my short series showing off the worlds I did in Minecraft before I started recording. And this is world number 2. In this world, this was after I started watching Paul Soares Jr.'s series on how to survive and thrive in Minecraft. And actually, I think I was watching this series while I was working on the previous world. Then, after a while, I realized that he was handing out the seed for his tutorial world. So I decided I was going to stop the world I was doing and move to this one and use his seed so I could follow him along more closely than I was in the previous world. So he gave the seed. You're supposed to spawn in a certain spot, but because he had an older version of Minecraft, it didn't spawn me where he was spawning, and so I started out lost. Basically lost in the woods and couldn't find my way to where he was. So I eventually started just building, right? So this is what I first built over here. This was originally cobblestone walls. I leveled the terrain. It was bumpy and whatnot, but I leveled the terrain. I started farming in here, and eventually took down the cobblestone walls and put up the glass walls so I could see out more when there was mobs. So I followed some of the things that Paul was doing. You know, made a little spot here for fishing, set up the gardens, set up the little farms here, made these platforms so I could feed these guys without having to actually go in and breed them. Get all the resources I could from them. Boy, they sure make a racket though, eh? So let's try and get away from that. And actually, let's just turn the sound down a little bit. Let's go down a little bit, and that way they won't be making as much noise. So I put these beacons here so I would be able to find my way back. I thought this was neat to make this tower that goes way up, and fenced it in so I wouldn't accidentally slip off while I was going up. That way I could go way up here and look out. And you can see when you look there, I had all kinds of markers and beacons and stuff to try and keep from getting lost. Because it would seem so easy to get lost. And I'll be completely honest, yeah, this was set up so I could just back down really easily. Shortly after starting this world, I was over here fighting a skeleton and ended up dying here. And that took me back to the spawn, and there I was, lost all over again and couldn't find my way back here. But what I was able to find was Paul's spawn point then, which is way down this way. So we'll quickly run down this way, and if you've watched his series, you'll see some familiar things down this way. Like here he did, when he did his cozy cottage tutorial, I kind of copied that and built it here. And that wasn't till after I had found his spawn point. So, you know, I leveled out the trees here. It made it easier for me to find my way around, and I did finally find the initial starting point that he was using, and I built in to make this hidey hole like he had done, except mine was a little bigger, and it went down, and I mined a bit down here and got more resources and stuff. And well, how did I miss that? And let's see what I ended up with down here. Yeah, I hit lava. I didn't go in that way. See, I went down even further. I think this goes way down. And I think I took a look and I couldn't see myself with any diamond equipment at all. So I think I got down this far. This was the limit to my adventure, and I didn't adventure any further. And I thought, oh geez, lava, I'm beat. I might have found a diamond or two and used it, but when I look at my inventories here, I don't think I have any diamonds here. So I think that I was entirely working with nothing but iron as the top end stuff. Right? And I don't think I ever adventured into the nether in this world. And I definitely didn't adventure to the end. Same with the previous world. No adventuring like that. And I adventured off into these caves and found what I could, but they were dark and it was scary, so I didn't really go far. Oh, there's one of my buddies coming to get me, hey? And these guys are more deadly than they've ever been before, too. And the mobs now well, like I say, once again, this was back in the 1.2.5 days, and things were different. And now we're at 1.5.1, quite different. So from here, I was adventuring off in every direction, trying to find my way back to what I made way over there, and was just having a heck of a time. So I'd take off, level some trees, make beacons, keep moving, do the shelter thing, similar to the previous world. I'd go off to a certain point and then realize I'm not getting anywhere near my previous build that I had set up, and then turn around and go back again. So I kept making these shelters. Sometimes I even dug down to get resources. I moved the beds. I kept making beacons and stuff to try and find my way back. As you can see, I think I got to this point and just gave up and went back. And I ended up going basically in every direction until I finally found my way back to the structure that I was building. Yeah, so from here, I don't think I went any further in this direction because I don't see any more beacons. No, no more. So, but you can see I went other ways. Get some eats down in here. There. So I was at least able to find my way back by way of these beacons. So systematically, I kept going one way, then the other, and obviously the last direction I head, I finally find what I'm looking for. So you can see I did beacons off in that direction. I went off in this direction too. Let's see. Yeah, I'd eventually go, oh, well, nothing this way, so let's turn around and go back. Well, it looks like I did some reed farming here. Quite a bit of reed farming. Actually, this leads all the way back to my home, and I was just going crazy planting the reeds. So I kept going on and on and on. I was basically wrapping all of the water with actually sugarcane, not reeds. They don't call it reeds anymore. It's sugarcane now. So I ended up not directly here. I was motoring along, following. I think I had a set of beacons going this way. Yeah, so you can see, and I still through the woods that was here. Like this is woods, and this has all been leveled. I still couldn't see my place from the trees, so I was heading in this direction. And I eventually got up to here, and I think I was making a shelter up here. Yeah, I had a shelter here, and that was all fine. Looks like I dug down more. Well, it looks like I was a little more adventuresome here. Each of my shelters I dug down, eh? I got up to this point, and I don't know how my distance was set, but it wasn't until I got to here I went, ah, look, it's a village. So I went to the village. Jeez, it's like I was digging down everywhere I went, right? And I went to the village, and I built that beacon on it, so I'd be able to find my way back to the village. And I believe it was when I was up there. Oh, we still have some villagers. That's kind of lucky. They didn't get killed or something, because I wasn't that good at keeping them alive back then. It wasn't until I was up here, I'm looking around going, oh, there's my stuff over there. So I was pretty happy I found my stuff, and I ended up heading back that way. Now, back then, I was not venturesome enough to wander around at night, because it was just too deadly for me. I was still pretty green, and you can see that I didn't really do anything with redstone once again. There was walls all around. I leveled this quite a bit. Like this wall here was all the way up against here and high. So like I flattened it down quite a bit. And once again, beacons all over. And this reed farm just went on and on and on. I kept following the river. But this was another thing completely here. This establishment was my base, and it's was where I'd gotten all my cobble for building and whatnot. Like I thought it was a major achievement to have hollowed this all out, and this here, and I put this floor in between so I could, make use of the space. And I don't think I ever did make use of the space. And this was my major mining operation where I went down to get iron, and I don't think I got any diamonds doing this little operation, because when I look in my inventories here, I don't find any. So I think I was like diamondless in this world and never actually got any. But I got lots of iron, and so I was in the Iron Age in this world. Up, up, up. Up we go. So this was my main storage area, along with my bed. And I had this was all woods here that I had leveled, and I had built this. It was originally just a glass wall here, so that I could farm in peace. And I wasn't as smart about how to do the water for farming, so I did it this way. And this was something I was kind of proud of. I made all these murder holes around here, so when the mobs come, I could just jump down and kill them. And it didn't work that good, because their artificial intelligence got a little better, and they wouldn't just blindly walk into the holes so much anymore. So it didn't work out that good. But I eventually kind of built this into this sort of glass house. And I spent a lot of time doing this and trying to get it lit up. And if I had just stuck with, a few lamps here and there, that would have been fine. But then I did the big stupid and put lights all up top. And then after I did that, I looked back and went, oh, geez, that's just darn ugly. And shortly after that, I discontinued playing this world. But it was actually, I didn't show you the downstairs here. I had a few chutes here going down where I could get to the murder holes. But I had a bed down here with, a little bit of storage. Tunnels leading all around. Eventually this come back up over here. So I think there was like 3 spots to get up and down here. And while I was working, I was still scared to run from that door to this door without the mobs getting me. So I built this tunnel to do it. And this takes me back to my main storage area here. Yeah. So, I think I probably spent a couple of months playing this game. And you can tell, there's quite a bit of expansion here compared to the previous world, I think. Like, it beacons all over from every place I had gone. And Before I started up this video, went back and looked at that village, and I checked out the blacksmith shop to see that everything was still in the blacksmith chest. So I didn't even know there was a chest in there for me to get to back then. I was that green on it. All right. So I built this cute little cozy cottage, as Paul would say, basically exactly to his specification, but I didn't fill it all in like he did. And I never really liked having this trap door here, but once again, a little bed down in here, leading out to get to the murder holes all around. And I even had this spot over here from the original tunneling, because I originally tunneled down here to get away from the mobs because I couldn't find my way back home, so I just tunneled in and, hide out for the night. And then realized where I was. I tried to follow his directions for where to put this, but didn't seem to be able to find the same spot as him, so I just got as close as I could, a spot near the water. And I don't know if it was a smart idea to put all these sugar canes here, because it sort of obscures your view quite a bit. That's a little better. But so this was my, learn Minecraft world, where I was following Paul's. Oh, now what was this here? Oh, this must be a spot I was expanding into. Yeah, and I built this as a shelter. Had a couple doors here to keep them at bay. And I didn't adventure far, but you can see it's all lit up in here, so I did do some adventuring. Built that whole shelter just for this tiny little cave, right? So I didn't know it wasn't going to go far, right? So I was a little more into doing things like that, shelter myself and then adventure. But yeah, that eyesore there is what made me stop playing this world. So once I did that and realized what a big mistake it was, I stopped and started a new world. And started building all over again. I think this was a nice cave area I had ventured. It looks like an Enderman decided to do some decorating for me here. And remembered something about this here. Excuse me. What's this all about? Oh. I'm not sure why I even did this. But I did. Yeah, once again, more dead ends. But, I think I was, getting resources down here. Oh, water above us. Let's get out of here. But once again, I didn't adventure to the Nether in the least bit. I did not even concern myself with the end and trying to fight the Ender Dragon. All I did was this building and setting up a base kind of thing. Made this so that I could stand up here and laugh at the mobs and shoot arrows at them and stuff like that. And I was a little bit small in my farms. Now when I do farms, I make them a little bit bigger than this. And there we have the chickens getting out all over the place. I don't know, the things have changed with Minecraft, and what used to be stable isn't anymore. So, you either live with that and continue, or you don't. So this is just about it. I didn't really once I got this all established and built this eyesore, I decided to move on and created another world completely, right? So I took a lot of sand from the desert back there to make tons of glass for this thing. And I didn't do anything, but I think I might have taken some of the stuff from the farms over at the village back there, but that's about it. I didn't villagers were kind of useless. They didn't trade with you or anything yet, so it wasn't any big deal to have the village nearby. Now I prefer to have a village nearby all the time, just for the extra resources you can get, and it makes it easier and whatnot. But so this is it. This was my second world. I did spend more time with this in my first world, but like I say, it came to a sudden end after I built this eyesore. I suppose I could have just ripped it all down, and everything would have been fine. But I decided to just move on and start again from scratch, and fresh start all over again, right? But I kind of think of this is my beacon world, because I got beacons everywhere to try and keep from getting lost, because it just seems so easy to get lost and not be able to find your way back. But that's about it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming by. And stay tuned for the next episode, where you'll see the next world I was in, where I think things got just a little more advanced than these past two. So until that next time, you all take care of yourselves. And this is Neofizz signing out.